Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comment section, like and share the video as well. It is time for, once again, preview and predictions at WWE No Mercy taking place this Sunday evening. So at the moment, no kickoff match has been announced, but I'm going to go through the card and give my predictions on each of the matches. We'll start with Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, man versus man. You'd figure if it was called The Man that Seth Rollins should be in this match, but that's another story. I do kind of like in a way where this storyline has sort of gone. Of course, Finn Balor lost the first match, now he won the second match as the Demon. Bray Wyatt now saying that Finn Balor cannot beat him as the normal Finn Balor. They've had Goldust inserted into this rivalry, and we see how his sort of face paint was taken off of him and he wanted to come back as the man Dustin Rhodes. I thought that was very well played out. I quite enjoyed that, but I think as we go into the pay-per-view, it's a clear direction for me. Finn Balor has to go over at this point. If Finn Balor doesn't win, he really is actually in dangerous territory in WWE for going even lower than mid-card. It's for once where I actually say that Bray Wyatt does need to lose again. So for me, I'm going to go for Finn Balor to pick up the victory in this encounter. Next, I'll look at the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Jason Jordan. A slow burner, this one. It seems that it was going to take place at SummerSlam. They seemed to leave it to the last minute if it was going to take place at No Mercy. And it feels for me that the way that it was put on Raw this week, that it felt like it was almost a real starting ground at last for this rivalry to take off. I think this could be the first of a couple of pay-per-view matches. So I'm going to go for Jason Jordan to pick up the victory, but I don't think he's going to pick up the title here. I think this would be perhaps one of those classic count-out or DQ finishes. This way, The Miz as well saying the Intercontinental title is important and should be showcased on the pay-per-view for then Kurt Angle to turn around and say, well, hang on, you perhaps took the cheap and easy way out of the match to retain your belt at the pay-per-view. It certainly would then have another role to play when it goes on to the build-up for the next match. They could have perhaps a TLC where maybe that stipulation will be taken out. Maybe they'll be thrown in one of those special matches, maybe a tables match, a chairs match, or even the ladder match. We'll have to wait and see how it will be played out. But I think Jason Jordan will pick up the victory, and I don't think he'll walk away as Intercontinental Champion. Next, I'll look at the Cruiserweight Championship. Enzo Amore going to be challenging Neville for the crown. Now, Enzo, for me, a lot of rumours of the backstage heat for him, but he's on pay-per-view here. He's in the backstage locker room with the Raw guys once again. He seems to be taking beating after beating every week on Raw, given quite a few those promos as well. One with The Miz was quite tasty to watch. I'm not so sure that Enzo is not actually paying his dues and will come through the other side here. I still believe that there's a chance he can come through the other side, but I do believe that Neville will pick up the victory here and Neville will remain Cruiserweight Champion for the foreseeable future. Looking next, I'll look at the Raw Tag Team Championships, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro and Sheamus. For me, it's a clear repeat here of this. I think that this will be the closing of this chapter between the two teams. I expect the Raw Tag Team Champions to retain. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins will retain the belts and will go on to a new team, perhaps Anderson and Gallows. After this particular event, we'll have to wait and see. But I think that the champions retain on this one for me. Next, we'll look at the Raw Women's Championship. Now a fatal five-way, Alexa Bliss defending against Emma, Bayley, Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. Well, it seems to me, I mean, we've been building this. It was first Alexa versus Sasha, then it turned to a fatal four-way, and now it's a fatal five-way. Another one of those fatal five-ways. WWE loves it. It seems to be the year of the fatal five-way. They seem to be cropping up probably once every few weeks or so, at least anyway. For me, though, I kind of feel it was a bit bad that Bayley was brought into this match. I feel that if she's not going to win it, what's the point? It just didn't seem worthy of bringing her in for this, but I did like that she had some aggression when she come in on Raw, and I did like that the fans were back on her side, and I hope, for the love of God, that WWE book her right going forward, because it really will be dangerous for Bayley's character now if it goes all sour again, now that she's back after injury. I felt that injury at the time could have been a blessing in disguise. But looking at the match result itself, I don't think she is going to pick up the victory. I expect Alexa Bliss to retain the championship. I expect actually her to pin Emma, who perhaps maybe, I expect Nia Jax to do the work, and I expect Bliss to capitalise and get the pinfall victory. And this way, going forward, Sasha Banks then would have lost her rematch clause, and we can see Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax at the next pay-per-view event.
Looking next, well, of course, it can be the one and only John Cena Roman Reigns match. The first promo was fantastic. You had to watch it. It was must-see TV. They haven't been as strong since, but for me, this is still mind-boggling why it's not at WrestleMania and why it's been taking place now. I do know the reasoning why for it, but still for me, this seems like one of those big marquee dream matches that they could actually headline at WrestleMania. Never been done before, because you want to see new matches at WrestleMania, not all these repeats that we tend to seem to be getting these recent years. But I look at it and say to myself, right, okay, who is going to win here? Well, John Cena is going to be missing after this, and he's expected when he returns to go to the SmackDown brand to face Jinder Mahal. It makes sense that he gives Roman Reigns the rub here. So Roman Reigns, for me, will pick up the victory, and maybe we'll see maybe this sort of passing of the torch, or at least respect given the other way once Roman Reigns picks up the victory. Last but certainly not least, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, taking place for the Universal Championship, a match that I'm very much looking forward to. Braun Strowman has dominant the whole way through over Brock Lesnar on the build-up to this SummerSlam. If anything to go by watching that event, this is going to be a must-see match. To two colossal athletes colliding here. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it has got the candidate of being match of the night here. But for me, it seems to be played the same way that it was for Brock Lesnar ending the streak with The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar has been the second best the whole way through, so I expect him to retain the championship when it comes to No Mercy. For me, if you ask what I wanted, I think it's the right time to change the belt, and Braun Strowman is hot right now. He is over. It is the right time to put the belt on him before that momentum disappears. But I think WWE is going to keep the belt on Lesnar all the way till WrestleMania, when eventually then he will actually lose to Roman Reigns. But that's just my feeling anyway. I feel that Brock Lesnar will win this in particular encounter. I think he'll do it by the skin of his teeth. But I would love to know your opinions in the comments below right now. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you think I've got it right? What are your predictions? Let me know right now. Do please like and share the video as well. Spread the word of SCW. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Very thankful for the support as always. ROH fans, you can keep an eye as well. Death Before Dishonor. Those predictions are coming up as well. Thank you for watching the video as always, and make sure to keep your eyes tuned here to SCW, the wrestling channel, here on YouTube.com. Take care.